What is up, Sauce Nation? It is your boy Hector Flores coming at you with a Dynamo video. The Dynamo made some moves, so we're going to go ahead and talk about these two players that they have just recently acquired. Share you my thoughts on these guys. Both kind of a different type of acquisitions, and I'll share my thoughts on them. So we'll get to it. But before we get going with this video, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe if you haven't yet to Sauce Sports. If you haven't, what are you doing? Click on that notification bell so you'll be notified when we drop videos just like this. Another way to get notified is obviously following us through social media, which is on Instagram and Twitter at Sauce Sports HCX and Sauce Sports on Facebook. And I think there's a TikTok as well. So yeah, there's that too. So go ahead and check them out. And if you guys want a little bit of extra flavor, a little bit more sauce, well, there is the Discord. How do you enter the Discord? This is the only option, and that is by signing up through Patreon. So if you join the Patreon, it'll give you a link directly to the Discord, and you can go ahead and check it out. I highly recommend it. It gets pretty fun in there. So there's that. Now, without further ado, let's get going with this video. All right, so the first player the Dynamo have signed, and this is kind of a little bit dated, but is Brooklyn Raines. He is an American. He is 16 years old and plays in the midfield, specifically on the defensive side. Now, where does he come from? He comes from the Barcelona Residency Academy in Arizona. So this is a little bit of a different approach. I know I said that I wanted more MLS experience type players, but also it's pretty important to build the youth. Now, maybe the youth academy maybe is not still up there yet. There is some youth academy players that have looked pretty interesting so far from what I've been seeing in preseason, but you can never go wrong with adding more youth players. Now, I'm a Real Madrid fan, and last thing I'm going to do is compliment anything that has to do with Barcelona, but I will say the Barcelona Residency Academy over in Arizona has brought out some pretty impressive players out of that academy system. Name a few. Brooks Lennon is one. They currently plays with the U.S. men's national team. Has had a call-up with the U.S. men's national team, be more specific. Corey Baird currently plays with Dynamo. Also won Rookie of the Year when he was drafted by the Real Salt Lake. But now currently plays with the Houston Dynamo. That's also a player of note. Julian Araujo, who just recently is currently playing for the Mexican national team, also played with the U.S. men's national team, but is now with Mexico, is also from there. Matthew Hoppe, the American sensation that got a lot of attention last year with Schalke, now playing with Mallorca over in La Liga, and also was part of the U.S. men's national team's Gold Cup win last summer. So Matthew Hoppe, another person to point out. And recently, Caden Clark, who I believe is being on the move to RB Leipzig. So another promising young American that's going out there to Europe. So the academy, that's just a few players to know. I'm not pointing them all out, but those are five that I definitely think should be worth mentioning. So Brooklyn Raines, and he's had some interest from other teams as well, but the Dynamo were able to get him. Now, do I think he's going to play with the Dynamo first team? I'm not entirely sure yet. I think they're going to put him in with the Houston Dynamo too in that MLS Next Pro, let him play over there, get him some development, and then if he seems ready, we'll see him out there. But I definitely like that there's going to be more youth. I definitely want to see a little bit more, though, from the academy. There's some academy players that I think definitely deserve a look. If the Dynamo don't decide to go get themselves another goalkeeper, which I don't think they should, I would like to see them get someone from the academy as well. But I like it. It's a young player. Now, I know I said my things about Paulo Nagamura, and to be honest, I really just don't. I'm still not sure what I'm getting from Paulo Nagamura. But obviously he has done pretty well with some youth players. Obviously, Gianluca Busio being the one to definitely highlight. So, I mean, maybe he can keep doing that going on with the Houston Dynamo too. Make sure that is being done well, especially now that it is in Houston, not in Rio Grande Valley. Now you have a local, sub team that you can actually see what's going on over there, and it's an easier transition if you call guys up and bring guys down. So I do like that. So Brooklyn Raines, I'm not entirely sure what I'm expecting, but he does come from a really reliable source, which is the Barcelona Residency Academy, and I hope that the Dynamo are this is a sign that the Dynamo are going to keep looking at youth. Now, this one's a player with more experience, and this is kind of what I want to see more from the Dynamo, especially if they're trying to improve their situation from what they had last year, and that is going after Zeca. Zeca is a Brazilian. He's 27 years old, and he specifically plays left back, but the Dynamo are actually bringing him in to be a right back, meaning that that's actually competition now for Zach Valentin, and he can also play in the defensive midfield. Now, he comes from Vasco da Gama. Now, they're currently in the second division in Brazil, but he does also have experience in Copa Libertadores and in the first division in Brazil, playing with Santos. And he, and I'll get a little bit more about some things to note for him. But last season with Vasco da Gama, he had 39 appearances, scored a goal, had 4 assists, and 10 yellow cards. Look, he's a fullback, so he's not going to score a lot of goals. He did help out with the attack, which is what you kind of want to see from a fullback. The yellow cards tells me that he does get into some situations where he's going to get a warning as far as playing aggressively. But he also has avoided red cards, so that tells me he's a little bit on the smarter side, at least defensively. Now, the thing I want to highlight from this guy that I think that features something really important is that he was part of Brazil's 2016 Olympic team, which won the gold medal in that Olympics. So this guy does have quite some experience to share. He kind of understands the game. Could he be starting right away? I think obviously you want to get him adapted to the team first, but I think that this is a really good move. You're going after, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of happy that it's not a Honduran, it's not a Central American. You're going after South American players. Obviously we saw what. Besides Mateo Bahamich, we don't want to talk about that one. But, with Sebastian Ferreira coming from Paraguay, now you got Zeca from Brazil. So I like these kind of moves. So I think that this guy could come right in and compete. Like I said, though, they're looking at him more for right back. He's primarily a left back. But, the fact that they're looking at him at right back tells me two things. One, they're committed to Lundqvist. They want to see what this guy can really do, what he can do with this team. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But I feel like that they're very confident in Adam Lundqvist. And two, there is a competition at the right back spot. That is Zach Valentin. I saw Dorsey play right back actually in the recent friendly. And now you got Zeca, who they're aiming to be a right back. He is Brazilian. Paulo Nagamura is a Brazilian. So there is some connection there. And I think that there's a reason why he was brought into this team. And, fullbacks, you can always improve that position. That I think you definitely need to strengthen that back line. There's still some missing things, but at least you got your back line a little bit more solidified going into this season. Now, I really hope that the Dynamo aren't necessarily done with doing some more signings. I know there's a player that they're talking about possibly getting him in the summer, but I need the midfield needs to be strengthened. The midfield for sure needs to be strengthened. I like what I'm seeing from the front. Could they add another winger? For sure, but what they're doing up front, from what I saw in the recent friendly against Austin FC, they had Corey Baird, Sebastian Ferreira, and Fafa Pico, a very fast front three. Midfield, once again, can be a little bit solidified, especially with Darwin Quintero. He's not going to be able to play every single game, at least not full 90, and so that's got to be something that they're going to have to look into. Who's going to step up in that attacking midfield position, and then kind of strengthening that midfield, man. That midfield needs to be addressed now at this point. Goalkeeper, you kind of took care of it with Clark. Your back line, to me, is pretty solid. To say the least, but midfield, I think at this point is the crucial place to be addressed. So hopefully they can get it done, hopefully before the season starts. But if not, then we're going to have to see that summer and what they're going to do in the summer transfer window. But aside from that, I like these two players. Two very different approaches with the signings. Obviously, one is clearly a youth approach for the signing, and the other one, you're going after experience and you're getting the experience you need to improve this club. So all in all, I'm not mad at these signings at all, so I can't wait. But tell me in the comments, man, what do you guys think of these two players? Do you think the Dynamo are at least going to improve on their current situation? You can only go one place, and that's up at this point. So hopefully it improves for the Dynamo. So tell me in the comments. Make sure you guys like this video. Go ahead and subscribe. Click on the notification bell. Make sure you follow us on social media. If you want to join the Discord, make sure you guys join through Patreon. And obviously this is a soccer video. I love soccer. If you guys can't tell, I do have a pretty decent idea of soccer sometimes. Well, I do have a podcast called Insert Name FC. I talk about mostly all soccer, specifically in Europe. I do touch up on MLS from time to time, but my bread and butter is Europe. So if you guys want to check that out, the link will probably be in the description. We are part of Belly Up Sports. That's really cool opportunity for me, which they're so cool that they let me do my thing here with Soft Sports as well. So thank you to Belly Up. Shout out to them. But yeah, so thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time. Deuces.